Oh, hello, good morning. How are you all today? Let's go today. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new way. And I'm feeling boom, 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 boom. Right. Hey, Samantha Terry. Samantha Terry, why don't you do that? After hour. Samantha Terry. I love Samantha Terry out there in Costa Rica. Thank you for popping in. So, those I don't know, Samantha Terry is a mod for Recovery Addict. Never see her. Never see her. But she's definitely a weirdo, and whenever she is here, she definitely fits in. Just unfortunately, she never has the time to fit in because she's too busy modeling for RA. But whenever she is here, she's 100% weirdo, 100%. So she fits in here with you lot like that. I wish she was here more often because she's great. But thank you, Sam. I'm not sure if you can see this, Sam, but thank you so much for popping in. You're a true one. Thank you so much. I hope everything's going well with Recovery Addict. Uh, Brown Da, wonderful people. Oh, bit of Welsh in the morning. Hello, how are you, Emma? Hope you're well. Morning from Katie. Morning, Katie. How are you doing? Oh, look at this. Yeah, I'm great. And how are you? Hope you're well. I'm good, thank you. Yes, I'm really good, thank you. Looking forward to today. Me too. Looking forward to a new case. I know nothing about this one. Hoping to keep it that way. I want to go in cold. Oh, I do know a little nose of the Court of Appeals, but gives nothing away. Court of Appeals? Is this a retrial? What? Whoa! I have no idea if this is a retrial or not. I I don't think it's a retrial. Let me get it here. I don't think this is a retrial. Um, so it's Wisconsin. Her name is Ann Phillips. She faces a trial for her husband's death after he's found dead outside of their home in February 2019. Uh, okay, this is basically Karen Reed. Criminal career said drove off during. Okay, I don't. It doesn't say anywhere this is a retrial. It doesn't say anywhere this is a retrial. So, so I don't know. Yes, I'm on time. I know, bloody change for you. That is bloody change for you. Or was there an internal appeal? Maybe don't know. Court of Appeals decision dated and filed. Oh, you see, whatever Emma's right, we got to fucking. I didn't know. It didn't say anything about appeal, but if it's an appeal, that's fine. It doesn't say anything on the description. Well, I know nothing about this, so I just know this. Basically, this is the Karen Reid trial. She is accused of hitting him, hit like a hit and run. So, and then Joe. That's all I know about it. So we don't know much more about it. Looking at hang on, yeah, fine. Look at don't obviously don't go too deep into it because I'm fascinated as well. So if you're right, which I'm sure you are right, then um, yeah, it doesn't say anywhere about an appeal, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to this bad boy. All right. So plan, even though it's just Katie and Emma here, but I think the plan is stream this. This is only going to be like a couple of hours. It's open statement. Then go to the other trial, watch that, and then I probably will watch day two morning session up to lunch. Do you know what I mean? And that'll take us probably to midnight. And then tomorrow start again at this time and watch the afternoon session, and then catch up with the other one. So we have a roundup feeling. Because if I stream the whole trial in one day and then the trial, it gets a bit long. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's technically the same amount, I think it's nice to keep abreast of it. So I think that's the plan. Marathon done. I know. I'll try. But also, Emma, if you can go to bed, it's something good for you because then you can get up early in the morning, and if you've got the thing on, just switch it on. So say now we finish the other one at like 9 o'clock our time, and you might go to, I've got, 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed now. You can watch it the next day. Do you know what I mean? So we don't have to wait. I don't expect people to stay around and stuff like that. So right, marathon, I Snickers, stickers. Right. Oh, hi, Christine. Hope you're well, Christine. Christine is here. Never fear. Christine is here. Christine Fortunato. Hello, Christine. How are you? Hope you're well. Definitely, so I haven't read it, but there we are. So that's good actually. So so once the other one finishes, as in about 9, 10 o'clock, you just do your usual bugger off, like, and then watch the next day. Do you know what I mean? You can switch on about 10 o'clock, it'll be about 2, 3 hours. You can catch up that way. So I'm trying to balance it for everybody. Do you know what I mean? Trying to balance for everybody, so we get 2 trials in one day. Right. I'll get the thing up here now. Oi, oi, that's what she said. Oi, oi. Right, here we go. Let me present at the stage. Let me get it right. We're ready to play. Makes sense. Well, I'm glad it makes sense to you. It does make sense to me. It does make sense to me. Right. Don't presume. Okay, not a retrial. It was an interlocutory appeal. What the hell is that? Interloc interlocutory. I've never heard that before. Interlocutory appeal. An interlocutory appeal or interim appeal is a law of civil procedure ruled by trial court is a field appellate court challenger non-final trials. Okay, so this is criminal, isn't it? And that was civil then. Anyway, let's do it. Let's do it. Right, this is open statements. Let me get that up. That's what she said. All right. Let me get this. Opening statements of WI versus Laurie Ann Phillips. All right. So there we go. Let me save that roll. Save. Um, to the higher court of an issue pre-trial or pre-trial before trust. That's fine. Cool. Thanks, Katie. It's about admissibility of some of it. Cool. Right. Are we ready? Are we steady? Are we ready? Go, 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 go. What are we? Dundee. Where the hell have you been? Just pulling it in. Just pulling in. That's what she said. Oh, I've got to stop saying that. What's this moron in for? This one is a lawyer. This one's a lawyer. So he's an attorney. You are not doing this. I am. I'm doing 2 trials a day, Christine. 2 trials a day. 2 trials. Two trials a day. So this is from yesterday. Open statements. Then we do the other trial, and then we're doing day 2A later on today as well. So we'll do 2 trials a day, guys. So Dandy, welcome. Hopefully strap yourself in and get ready for this, the ride of your life, Dandy. Go, 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 go. Always ready for you to hey, don't tell your husband that. Right, here we go. Let's go. All the women are here, they're all ready, they're all raunchy and ready to go. And I am as well. So let's
Sheriff's deputies Joseph Green, Peter Stone, and Patty Stoke drew up responding to the call. Mr. Phillips had been drinking all day long, from Bloody Marys and beers at 7:30 a.m. through a golf tournament, all the way until about 11:30 a.m. at 11:30 p.m. this evening when he came down home from the bar. Lori knew that he was upset, and she knew that he was broken. And she made a decision before Mark's coming home. She locked the door. She said, I don't want to deal with this. You're not going to be pleasant when you come home and you're drunk and you're angry. And she hoped that he would sleep it off in the man cave, which is a separate structure immediately adjacent to the house. Pretty nice man cave, has couches and wood pellet stove and some other amenities. But Mr. Phillips didn't want to listen to that. He called his parents over to the house, began slamming himself into the door, eventually kicking it down, shattering it inwards, and rushing into the bedroom where Lori had been sleeping. In that position, Mr. Phillips lunged towards the end table immediately.
How's the audio, guys? How's the audio? I put the extension on a little bit. Hope you can hear it okay.
Lori's side up of the bed. That concerned her, because there are only two things on that end table. Number one, which he eventually ended up grabbing in the dark, was a remote control that controlled the settings on an overhead ceiling. The other was a loaded hand. Mark's physical and verbal abuse didn't stop, and Lori was able to call 911, prompting this response from the sheriff's department. You'll hear that when the officers arrived, Mark had already fled, but Sergeant Cardine
I can go up again. I can go up again. I'll go up a little bit more there for you, Katie. Hang on.
concluded that was probable cause to arrest Mr. Phillips for disorderly conduct and criminally damaging property and domestic offenses. He was arrested the next day. You're going to hear that Lori did something that allows survivors of domestic abuse to. As the days and weeks went on, she started to roller statement back. She started to recant. She said, maybe this was my fault after all. Maybe I should have just let him back in. Maybe Mark didn't really mean to go for the gun. It's not what she was telling people simultaneously. And you'll hear that Lori eventually reached out to a member of Mark's family, having to be an attorney, and say, I'm not scared of Mark. I want him. Lori's going to tell you that that wasn't actually the case. She felt some pressure, but at the same time, she loved him. She wasn't aware of exactly how toxic that relationship was at the time. Nevertheless, after that incident, Lori had some recognition that the relationship wasn't healthy. She broke things off with Mark, or at least suggested taking a break, moved out of the house, and got her own apartment in the city of Alaska. Mark wasn't ready to be done. Continued to monitor her, keep tabs on her, ask her who she's hanging around with, ask her what men are showing interest and showing up unannounced. That culminated in one terrifying evening in this service. You'll hear that once more. She knew that Mark had been drinking most of the day, the two had been arguing across phone or social media or some other platform, and Lori had the sense that things just weren't going to go well. She had the sense that Mark was in a position where he could lose his control. So before she went to bed that evening, she closed her door, locked it, put the chain on, and then did something that she's never done before. Propped up a tall kitchen stool up against the door latch so that if Mark was tempted to come over and try to kick the door in, it would make no effect. After taking these steps, she went to bed, but didn't sleep. She woke up to the sound of her door crashing open. The locking mechanism in the door jam shattered. The next thing she knew, her ex-boyfriend.
Hey, Danny. Hey, Danny. Just explain to you quickly, Danny. First of all, hope your father's well. First of all, lovely to see you. We're doing 2 trials a day now. So we started off with this from yesterday. Then we're going into the other trial, and then we're coming back to this day 2. So we're doing. I'll explain it better later on to you. All right, but it's long days. Long days.
Was jumping on top of her in her bed in the middle of the night, pitch dark. He reeked of alcohol, but at the time she didn't know that because she couldn't breathe. He was strangling her. On top of her, with hands around her neck, and she couldn't breathe. And that's one of many times where Lloyd figured he wasn't going to stay alive. Mark let out. He was screaming and yelling about some man that he believed was interested in Lori. And Lori did what she always did. He submitted. Told him what he wanted to hear. Told him that there would never be anyone else but the Mark Phillips. The domestic abuse didn't stop after that point. Lori and Mark did get back together. Lori did move back into the home enrollment. And she'll tell you that during the course of their arguments, when Mark would get so out of control, she legitimately believed that any given argument would be less than a chair. She'll tell you about going to sleep in the guest room and playing possum, breathing absolutely still, because when Mark appeared at the door jam, she believed that he was holding the gun in his hand. And a lot of you might be asking the question, why would she keep coming back? What is she doing with this guy who's ready for her own? And you're going to hear the answer throughout the course of this trial. Lori was so caught up in the cycle of power and control that she had no idea exactly how toxic this relationship was. Lori was so caught up in the belief that this man loved her intensely because of the outbursts of so protective of her that she couldn't see exactly how uncontrollable it would come. And in December of 2018, she was entitled now. Lori figured that would be a fresh start. That he loved her enough to marry her, and loved her enough to stop her. They figured that they would move to Bismarck, North Dakota, where Mark had recently been promoted at his work, and that with new people, they could have a fresh start. That didn't end up being the case. February 22nd started innocuously enough. Ms. Phillips had a couple of friends who wanted to have a goodbye dinner with her, Ann Phillips and Adam Stevens, and she and Mark went out to Sloopy's alma mater on the north side of the cross. By all accounts, that dinner was a good time. No drama, no food, had a couple drinks, and reminisced. And at one point, Ms. Pinsky mentioned that she and Adam were going to another bar on the south side of the cross. It's over by Carboni's now, Elmore Avenue, then called the Dive Bar. And they were going there for a drawing of a large amount of cash, $1,500 or something like that. Lori and Mark figured it would be fun, so they tagged along. And that's when things started to take a turn. Because once they reached the Dive Bar, Mark started drinking more heavily. And beer after beer after beer. Lori recognized the sign that she's seen all too many times before. Mark was getting drunk. We know for a fact that Mark was drunk that evening because the most conservative estimate of his alcohol toxicology at the point of autopsy was a 0.149. For those of you who don't know or aren't keeping track, that's almost 2 times the legal limit for driving over 50. The highest value was a 0.20. And it was in this condition that Lori would play that she started to go on high. Whenever Mark got drunk, is when the drama happened. So Lori would do everything in her power to not attract the attention of men, not talk to other men that Mark didn't bring over the table, and do nothing that could set him off. And that's where they came into contact with the gentleman that they both knew, a guy by the name of Scott Cundy. It's the type of encounter that all of us have had probably dozens of times in bars across the state. Came up and said, "Oh, hey, good to see you guys. You should stick around. Guess who's coming? Terry LaFleur." Now, at the time, that didn't even mean anything. You're going to hear that her only connection to Mr. LaFleur was that they both used to bartend part-time at another bar that doesn't exist anymore, or goes chapter 2, 20 years in the past. But Mr. Cundy pressed and said, "Well, Lori, you know Terry, right?" Indicating that the two of them had worked together before. And Lori's response was somewhat atypical, saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what does that mean? I've never slept with Terry." Trying to cut Mark off on the impression that Mr. LaFleur was coming there for some romantic purpose. Didn't work. Mr. Phillips immediately exploded. Calling her a whore, blaming her for Mr. LaFleur coming out there, and repeatedly insisting that Lori just wanted to have sex with Mr. LaFleur. You're going to hear from others that were at that table, at the dive bar that evening, and talk about how Mr. Phillips is physically creating a scene. It's not particularly high-quality footage. I would say it's kind of akin to a VHS-style security surveillance system. But you can see footage of Mr. Phillips at the dive bar table, flailing his arms, pounding his hands, hovering over Lori, and physically screaming at her during that night. And you're going to see at one point, it got severe enough where Hannah's father, Bob Prinsky, got up and tried to kind of half-heartedly break things up and give Lori a hug and say, "We're sure going to miss you," hoping that it would just dissolve the dispute. But it never happened. Lori knew that the night was unraveling, and she and Mark decided that they would go to another bar home for another. Lori figured that if they got away from that bar and Mr. LaFleur was going to show up, that would be the end of the drama. But it wasn't. When they got into the parking lot, who they went into, Scott Cundy. Mr. Cundy had something to show them. Terry LaFleur had arrived. Lori's going to tell you that she had kind of an awkward hello. 30 seconds, a minute. They reminisced about the old days when they weren't that close to begin with. Got into the truck and left. She figured that was the end. It wasn't. Mark was white hot inside of that truck. He was furious. He was screaming that this was all his fault, or all her fault, that she really wanted to stay there and have sex with Mr. LaFleur. His anger reached the point that Lori became scared of him and said, "Please, please just take me back to my friends, Adam and Hannah. We can figure things out later." You'll hear Mark oblige that request. He turned around, parked in front of the dive bar, and that's where the first physical attack of the evening happened. After he parked the truck, Mark lunged over towards Lori, grabbed her head with enough force to force it down to the seats. You'll hear that in the course of this attack, his arm manipulated her earlobe to the point that her hearing tingled out, showing that she had visible blood after she walked into the bar. Mark climbed on top of Lori, put his elbow on top of her chest, all of his 220 pounds on top of her, and protruded his forearm, choking her across the room. Couldn't breathe. She had no idea what was happening. All the while, Mark was screaming that she just wanted to fuck her. Mark eventually let her up. But before he let her go, he did something else that Lori was familiar with. He demanded herself. You're going to hear that Mark didn't like Lori having access to others who were having those types of disputes. And he took that phone from her. regularly, but in this case, Lori certainly submitted to that request as well. She went back into the bar and eventually had a discussion with Hannah, who, at one point or another, was shocked enough that she said, "I don't think you should move to North Dakota. I don't think you're safe there." Now, Mr. Phillips comes back into the bar, and we know what he does because we're going to hear from the witnesses to this. Comes back in, creating a scene.
I've thought that a few times, Katie. I'm like, why? It does sound like it's a defense. You're right, Katie. It does. I'm not really sure what's going on, but we'll still carry on.
Angrily points at Lori and says, "Get your fucking ass back in the front," screaming at her in front of everyone else. Lori wasn't in the mood to be back in that room. She didn't feel safe. Mr. Phillips began call bombing Adam Stevens' cell phone from Lori's 2, 3, 4 times, each time trying to convince Mr. Stevens to get Lori to get back into the car. When he called again, an exasperated Mr. Stevens took the cell phone, handed it to Lori, and said, "Can you just talk to him?" And Mr. Phillips had a request. He asked Lori if Terry LaFleur was still in the home. She said, "Yeah, I see him over there." He told her to go over to Terry LaFleur. At which point he said, "Tell Terry I'm going to come here and kick his ass." Lori will tell you that she did that, but did in a way where she was putting her finger on her temple, kind of like, "I'm crazy, don't worry about this." Now, Mr. LaFleur was kind of a low-down guy. He didn't know what was going on, but he didn't want part of it. He and his buddy left. At some point after Mr. LaFleur left, Mark starts to settle down a little bit. He gives Lori back her cell phone and texts her this message: "I'm so sorry, I love you." And Lori will tell you that she believed that this was a sign that Mark was starting to settle down and realize that he had been out of control already. So eventually, as the night reached a second conclusion, she decided, "All right, I'll go home with Mark." She said goodbye to Hannah and Hannah. She ducked into the bathroom, but before she did, there was another incident with Mark where he exploded. When Lori ducked into the bathroom, she texted Hannah. She said, "Shit's just getting real. Don't respond to this. I'm deleting this text message." Just letting somebody know what was happening, just in case things escalated later that day. And when Lori got out of the bathroom, she saw that Mark must have gone to the restroom herself and had her. She figured she'd get into the truck, she'd drive home, she'd let Mark find a friend or sleep off someplace else. And she didn't even get back down to the parking spot before Mark reached. Pulled her out of the car, took her by her arms. He slammed her up against the side of the truck. He was screaming at her about Terry LaFleur, about leaving. And at that point, Lori raised her voice and screamed, "Stop! Stop, Mark! You've done enough!" Hoping that somebody in the parking lot would intervene. Hoping that she'd have another Mr. Bureaucrat who would come up and say, "This isn't going to happen in the parking lot." Nobody did. And nobody did as Mark grabbed Lori with enough force to be visible bruises on her bicep days after the fact. Yanked her all the way around the car, threw her to the passenger side door, slammed the door, and punched the window right where her head was. He'd never seen her husband that angry before. And he was taking her home alone, her real home. The ride home wasn't any better. Mark was red hot. She was as angry as he was as angry as she'd ever seen him. And she described him as like somebody that she didn't even recognize, not the man that she married. And during that ride, Lori made one decisions. Number one, she decided that she didn't feel safe staying with Mark that night. As soon as they got home, she was going to get her contact lens case, her eyeglasses, and go find someplace else to stay. Decision number two was a little bit more. Took off her wedding ring, put it in Mark's hand, and said, "Take this. I don't want it anymore." Thinking that might calm him down, thinking that he could lose her. But here that it worked for a little bit. And Mark said, "Please, please, please, don't do that. Don't take that back. I love you. You're my wife." But Lori left it in his hands. When she got back home, you can hear that Lori called to her friend. She put a couple of undrink cans of seltzer that Mark had in the car in the kitchen, got her contact lens case and her eyeglasses, and got back into the truck. And the next she saw, Mark was charging out the back door of the home with his fist up, right into her face at the open door. Lori reacted reflexively, going, "No, no, 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 no," thinking that she was about to get punched in the face, but he didn't. When it became apparent that she was actually leaving, Mark said, "Well, you can't leave until I get all of my belongings out of this truck." Walking around to the passenger side of the truck, flinging open the door, and beginning to pile up a pile of property from the center console of the glove compartment onto the passenger side. You'll see a photo of this at some point during the car. The usual junk that most of us accumulate in our cars in the process of loading them: receipts, bills, chewing gum, sunglasses, some canned boozies. And in the process of doing this, he's still down the screen at Lori. And he takes that canned boozy that Mr. Brady told something that he gave Lori on her birthday. It has a pair of cartoon breasts on it, and it says, "It's my birthday." He threw it at her and said, "That's all you're good for." Lori will tell you that she kind of flipped it back over. Mark, approximately the spot where the front passenger door was at the time that he There's another piece of evidence that Mark was going through with reference that will become important later. He said that he found a couple of tokens for free drinks at a local tavern. He said, I'm going to take these tokens and go find some women and bring them back to the house. During this process, Lori figured, if I can get my cell phone out and turn on the video, I might be able to capture some of this so that you can see what he's like when he gets this. She got her phone out, got it up, didn't quite get the report function today, and then Mark saw the phone in his mouth, knocking it down to the driver's side floor. Looked at Mark, she saw a face that was filled with sheer rage. She'd never seen him that angry. As soon as they locked eyes, Mark began tearing around the front of the truck to the driver's side. Lori had every reason to believe that what happened when Mark got to that driver's side was going to include their at least more physical abuse, if not her worst fears. You'll hear that she was in a moment of panic, that she's put in a situation where she has no idea how to react. That when Mark clears the front of the truck, Miss Phillips' instincts are taking over. That urge to fight or flight takes over, and as he reaches the side of the truck within an instant of being able to wrench that door open and pull Miss Phillips out, her instincts took over and she didn't move back. Miss Phillips will tell you that there's only one reason that she didn't fight. Because she was scared. Because she was reacting to the situation that was presented to her. And you're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen, that nobody's quite sure exactly how Mr. Phillips was in. I expect the state's investigators and Dr. Riker even to acknowledge this. But if there's one thing I expect the evidence to establish, is that this was not a hand murder. Miss Phillips did not run Mark Phillips down in the truck. You're going to see photos of the truck, and the investigators in this case will tell you that the truck was spotless. In fact, I expect him to testify that the truck showed absolutely no sign that it had been involved in the collision. Dr. Riker will testify that Mark's injuries were not consistent with what he would typically see with an outright death. And I expect Dr. Riker and others to acknowledge that there are any number of circumstances that could have caused Mark to slip, fall, become caught towards the back end of the truck.
Yeah.
You see photographs of an aftermarket rail or stuff that Mark installed. Obvious tripping hazard had reached the area where Mr. Phillips said that he was pushing the gas. You're going to see that there's plenty of room where Mr. Phillips could have fallen and been dragged for a short period of time. But what we know for a fact is that this accident, this collision, assuming it was Miss Phillips, didn't occur within her field of vision. It occurred when she was fleeing. And you're going to have a bunch of facts thrown at you throughout this trial, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of the day, it's going to amount to a jigsaw puzzle of about half a piece of stuff. Nevertheless, it's so important to try to figure out what happened, because that'll help answer those three major questions. Number one, who caused substantial risk of death or great bodily harm? One of them is consistent with what the state's asking for. The other is consistent with Miss Phillips' not. Number two, was Lori personally aware of the extent of a substantial and unreasonable risk caused by her behavior, not Mark's, at the time that she fled? Which leads us to the why. Was this so objectively unreasonable that it constitutes criminal recklessness under the circumstances, rather than an accident? And as you're going to hear, there's a tremendous difference in the legal sphere between risking somebody's life for no good reason and reacting, relying on your human instincts because you believe you need to save. One of those is consistent with guilty verdict, the other is not. And one of the issues that I expect to come up repeatedly is this issue of whether or not Lori knew that Mark did. And I expect that after you hear all this evidence, your answer will be unequivocally no. Everything happened incredibly fast. You're going to hear about Lori describing how her heart was beating out of her chest, just trying to escape this man in a sense. And we know what Lori was thinking in the moments immediately thereafter, because she began using herself. Amazing contracts. We're walking around with thousands of times computing power in our pockets, and the tall astronauts have them embedded underneath. And our phones are almost an extension of our very thoughts these days. And in Lori's case, they're an extension of hers. And what if she texted Hannah Klinsky just moments after leaving Mark and going to the subdivision to hide? He just freaked again. He was at the passenger side of the truck and tried to come at me around the truck, but I took off. I don't even know what to do. He's lost it tonight. He promised he would never touch me. He lied. At 10:57 p.m., again, just minutes after fleeing her husband, Lori sent the following text to Mark. I wish you the best, but the best will never be with you. You lost everything tonight because you let your mind get the best of you. I cannot even believe you put your hands on me. Good luck in Bismarck. Lori will tell you that there's a simple reason why she sent him that text. She had no reason to believe that he'd been injured. She had no reason to believe that he died. She wanted him to know that this very life had cost him his marriage. And she wanted him to know right after she fled. After hiding in the subdivision for a few minutes, Lori waited for Mark to come racing by in the Subaru, the other vehicle that Lori typically drove. And not seeing him there, she began looking for a hotel. She went to the Comfort Inn, and there was no room available. She began searching for hotels near her once more, ladies and gentlemen, because she believed that Mark was alive, well, and furious, and she didn't feel safe going back home. Eventually, she made a reservation at the Baymont Inn, and you'll see the footage of Lori riding over to the Baymont to the reception desk. She hands over her driver's license and credit card, and is only told that, well, because you made the reservation so close to midnight, it automatically looks to follow you. And by the way, the Baymont's also. Lori didn't know quite what to do at that point, so she went to Woodman's, used the restroom, and sat in the parking lot, thinking that she could just spend a few hours in the truck until Mark sobered up. And during that time frame, she began using her cell phone. Mr. Burdick told you, she, aside from looking for a hotel, she had a couple of specific searches on her Google. She searched for physical abuse and physical abuse quit. Both were misspelled and both attributed that finger, so to speak. The characters are right next to one another, but that's what Lori was searching for. She wanted to put some context in what just happened, what was happening in her relationship, how she should feel about this, how Mark should feel about this. When she found the quote that somewhat encapsulated her feelings on that evening, she copied, pasted, and sent it to her husband. And the user could seem emotional and needy. You can get caught in the trap of catering to him, trying to fill a bottomless pit. But he's not so much needy as entitled, so no matter how much you give him, it will never be enough. He'll just keep coming up with more demands because he believes his needs are your responsibility until you feel drained down to nothing. Lori will tell you once more that when she sent this text, she wanted Mark to read it. She wanted him to reflect on his behavior and how he hurt her. She had no idea whatsoever that he'd been injured. Now, there's no dispute that in this time frame, Lori checked the camera system repeatedly. So here's what you're going to hear about that. The camera system had been disarmed by Mark's phone on February 21st. They've been selling a bunch of items on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, I believe, and the motion detectors kept going off and blurring their phones to the point that Mark shut them down. They weren't rearmed until Lori started looking at some point after she fled Mr. Phillips. And she's going to tell you that the reason that she looked on the cameras is pretty simple. One, she wanted to see if there was any evidence of Mark coming after her in the Subaru. See if Mark had taken the Subaru out to go to a different bar, go hang out with a buddy, or maybe leave the home for the night. And number two, in the back of her mind, she had that comment about Mark saying that he's going to bring some money back to the house. So she started checking the cameras to see if that happened, particularly about the hot tub that they had out by the beach. It's undisputed that Lori Phillips did not delete any video footage from that camera system. And it's undisputed that Mark Phillips would not have been visible from that camera system based on Mark's position. We're going to show you a video of that, ladies and gentlemen, to show you that Mark's body came to rest in a large snowbank that would have been completely invisible from the camera system that evening. Ultimately, though, it's the camera system that captures the moment in which Lori discovers Mark had been outside and was ultimately dead. Lori, at some point, decided that she was going to go home. It got cold, she couldn't find a hotel room, and she figured that she'd disarm the cameras, it wouldn't alert Mark when she got back in. When Lori got back in, she went to the restroom and eventually went upstairs to sleep in the bedroom so that Mark didn't look at the main guest room much before. At some point before she got up, she rearmed the cameras because that's something that she's gotten in trouble with Mark in the past too. And one of those cameras operational. She turned them back in. And ultimately those cameras captured the moment that was fixed on the husband. Now, about 6:30 a.m., Lori gets up. She uses the restroom. She goes downstairs, in her words, to demand an apology from Mark. She flung open the door, figuring that he'd be hung over and sobered up, and all that was there was an unmade bed and a bunch of clothes. This didn't concern her, because she figured that Mark had likely taken the other car out and ended up at a bar or a friend's house or someplace else. They was out looking for her. So she put on her boots and decided to go out to the exterior garage, look through the side door to see if the Subaru was there. This captures the moment that Lori exits the house. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, that Lori is walking towards the direction of the exterior garage. You can see the exterior garage door, that almond shaded door on the red garage over there. Doesn't appear to be in distress. Appears almost to be annoyed at that point. Step number 2 is her discovery. And this one's much less about what you observe and much more about what you hear. You can hear Ms. Phillips off camera scream, "Oh my God." Saw her husband dead inside the snowbank at the side of the driveway. Step number 3 is Ms. Phillips' reaction as she runs back to the house to take her phone and call 911. plainly distraught, screaming, yelling, and crying, even well outside of the range where she would have been on camera. The 911 call that follows is difficult to listen to. It depicts somebody who's in the most panicked and worst moments of her life, trying to relate to this 911 dispatcher that her husband was dead. You're going to hear that help arrive approximately 10 minutes after the fact to inform you.
I hope you enjoy the wedding on the weekend. Have a great night, Sandra. We'll see you when you come back, all right? But thank you for popping in. Best of luck. Hope you enjoy yourself.
The cross-county sheriff's deputy, Michael Valencia. And Officer Valencia took some initial observations, but among those, he and others described Ms. Phillips as essentially hysterical, distraught, totally beside herself, shaking so hard that she couldn't calm down. And the one question that ultimately came up in the course of investigating whether this was part or not was, how could Ms. Phillips drive by and whether Mr. Phillips was there? And we're going to talk about that at length today. You're going to hear from Sergeant Valencia himself, first officer on scene, describing snowbanks that were plowed out approximately 3+ feet high on either side of this long driveway. And he's going to tell you that when he turned into that driveway, he couldn't see Mr. Phillips' body positioned inside of that snowbank until he was literally right on top of it. Sergeant Valencia had a squad car video operating that way. We're going to show that to you frame by frame instead of the vehicle. You're not going to be able to see Mr. Phillips inside that snowbank the same route that Ms. Phillips drove out. You won't be able to see him anywhere on that squad car video, as a matter of fact. But aside from the testimony, we're also going to show you some photographs. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Phillips is present in this photograph. This is a view up the, westbound side of the driveway, this horseshoe, and it's doing directly the direction that Ms. Phillips would have traveled by at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, no natural lighting. At the very edge of the driveway, near that large berm of snow, you can see a tiny section of black peeking out. That's the very edge of Mr. Phillips' jacket that he had been wearing at the time. The rest of his body was invisible. You're going to see photos from a number of different angles. I'm about to put up a photo now that does depict Mr. Phillips deceased and on the ground. But I'm going to show you this photograph, ladies and gentlemen, just so you can see how he truly ended up in this snowbank at the point of his death, making him invisible to anyone driving by. You'll see that he was completely concealed behind that snow berm, and unless somebody happened to look by 90 degrees to the right and down in the second or two that they happen to be passing him on the driveway, you're not going to see him. You're going to hear testimony and see footage that Mr. Phillips wouldn't have been visible from behind the truck or behind the house where Lori actually parked the truck. Now you're going to hear that the investigators on scene initially concluded that Lori wasn't at fault. You're going to hear Sergeant Valencia say out loud on the squad car audio that the footprints that he observed in the snow were consistent with what Lori said. She went out looking for him in the garage, went down, saw him laying down, ran back to the house and ran back to Mark after getting her phone and calling 911. But as more investigators got involved in this, more people arrived at the scene, they began exploring, well, what if something did go wrong? And that's where we started to get a narrow focus on the evidence. Now, I don't fault the investigators in this case. They're human. But like all humans, they tend to make assumptions. And when you make assumptions, ladies and gentlemen, they tend to miss the evidence that's right in front of you, suggesting that you might be incorrect. And you're going to hear about several items of evidence in this case that weren't collected, that weren't examined, that had every ability to exonerate Ms. Phillips outright. It wasn't collected. And if there's one question I want you to ask yourselves as you're listening to this evidence, it's, does this theory make sense in light of every bit of evidence? Not just the evidence that suggests that something wrong had happened, but the evidence that suggests that nothing wrong had happened. These are emotional cases. I recognize that there are members of Mark's family who loved him in life that are here today because they loved him in death. I'm not asking any of you to turn off your humanity in that process. It's okay to feel empathy. They lost somebody too. But if there's any other request that I make of you as you hear this evidence, it's this. Turn on the logical sides of your brain and keep them turned on. Because ultimately, it's the facts and not the feelings that will adjudicate those important questions that will close this case. What happened to Mark Phillips was tragic, but it wasn't a homicide. This was an ordinary woman in impossible circumstances. Domestic violence victim doing the best that she could with the seconds that she had. At the close of this case, I'm going to ask you to return your own proper names. Thank
you, Mr. Zacher. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take an afternoon break. That's going to be running on time here. What I ask you, please don't talk about the case with each other during these breaks. We'll take about I always say 10 minutes, it's really 15. But about 10 minutes if we can. If you have questions, ask people.
I agree. Seems decent so far. I think it's it. Oh, you go. Audio again. We're always gonna have issues with the audio, do you know what I mean? Right. Let's see. So they might not be showing us the states opening then. Which, fine. I mean, I'm not that bothered about it if they don't show it, but some crumpets and butter, that would be nice. Cold tea, warm tea. You don't want cold tea though, Jesus. Okay, so okay, so it seems like we've missed the states. So it is what it is. We can't help that. We've now got the first witness. Uh, so let's hear who this is.
Record. My name is Michael Valencia. Last name is spelled V as in Victor, Alpencia.
And what is your occupation?
I'm a law enforcement officer with the Cross County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been employed?
25 years.
So you were on duty February 22nd, February 23rd, 2019.
The 23rd, yes.
Did you receive a call for service or any kind of call that morning?
Yes, I did. I was a patrol supervisor at that time, and I responded to a person who was down in a snowbank.
Your Honor, the parties have stipulated that the 911 call is authentic and inadmissible. I would ask that we be allowed to play Exhibit 1. Any objection? No objection. You may proceed.
Happy days. Glad to hear, Danny. Well, you've always got our best wishes towards you and your family, Danny. Always here for you, Danny. You know that. I'm just glad that you're back and we can entertain you a little bit. Well, Jonathan can entertain you for a little bit.
Just give it to me. There we go.
82. I wasn't sure if you were here. Thanks, Sarah. I didn't know if you were here. I know you popped in, but I wasn't sure if you were actually here. So thank you.
Hours 33 seconds. 911, what is the address of the emergency? W5414. How are you? W. Data phone. Oh my God. What is it? I need you to give me the address one more time, please. W. 5414. County Road, W. Okay, what's going on? My husband is out of the kidney. He's frozen. Oh my God. Oh, is it he's frozen? I don't know. He's not moving. Oh my God. I didn't know he was frozen. Is he breathing? No, I don't think so. Okay, stay on the phone with me. Do not hang up. I'm going to page some help out, and then we're going to get some medical team to help you here. Hang on 1 second. It's going to sound like I'm hanging up on you, but I'm not. Stay on the phone. Oh my God! What happened? Oh my God! Okay, what's your first name? Emily. What is it? Emily. Okay, what? Your address you said was W5414 County Road W, like William, correct? Yes. Okay. All right, stay on the phone with me. I'm going to our medical team. They're going to have a question. Help arrives. Don't hang up. 1 moment. Did you see going W5414 County Road W in Holman? Call back 799-0822. A woman on the phone who found her husband in the snowbank. Doesn't believe he's breathing. Seems to be frozen. Sending first responders. Go ahead. Ma'am, okay, tell me exactly what happened. I don't know. I feel like I went to the bedroom this morning to the lake. Oh my God, I thought you know. Okay, what's going on right now? He's ill. Okay. Are you with him right now? No. How old is he? He's 48. Okay. Is he awake? No. Is he breathing? No, he's not. Okay, we have help on the way. Are you, send the paramedics, stay on the line, okay? Oh my God, I just didn't know he was out here. All right, if there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now in case we need it later, and listen carefully. Are you right by him now? Yes. Lay him flat on his back on the ground. Oh, I can't touch him. I can't touch him. Why can't you touch him? I need you to roll him flat on his back. Pull him flat on his back. Don't hang up the phone. Ma'am, listen to me. Lay him flat on his back. We're going to try to help him, okay? I'm sure he's been here for a long time. There's still all over him. Okay, ma'am, we need to do this until help gets there, okay? We're going to do what we can. Lay him flat on his back. I don't know how to touch him. I don't know how to do this. Okay, is he face down or face up? No, he's face up. Okay.
So, Jonathan, you're thinking of Karen Reid, but this is a similar one to Karen Reid. Karen Reid is in the press a lot lately about running over her boyfriend who was a police officer. This is another one. This is 2017 or 2019.
Is he flat on the ground? No, he's either side. Okay, roll him to his back. Roll him to his back. Okay, hold on. Okay. Roll him to his back. Listen carefully. Roll him to his back. Did you get him on his back? Try to put him on his back. Ma'am, roll him on his back. Tell me when that's done. Okay. You're doing a great job. I need you to just do this. Ma'am?
Saturday, February 23, 2019, 06:34 and 30 seconds.
Ma'am? I can't. Okay. Tell me exactly what you see. He's laying in the snowbank. Okay. At our house, not breathing, and very, very cold. Okay. Ma'am. Are you able to get him on his back, and we'll try to do chest compressions? No, he's too heavy. Okay. When was the last time you saw him? Last night at like 11 o'clock. Okay. He was chasing me down in the truck, and I just took off. He was chasing you down in the truck? Yes. Oh my God. Is that what you said? Yes. Okay. Yes. No, he was out here. Okay. And the last time you saw him was last night? Yes. Okay. All right. I know this is very hard for you, ma'am. Do you want to do CPR right now? There's no reason I can. Okay. Okay, please. I know this is difficult. Tell me, please, why does it look like he's dead? He's frozen to the ground. He's frozen to the ground right now? Do you think he's beyond any help? Yes. Okay. I'm sending someone to assist you. Please leave everything as you found it, okay? They're all coming as fast as they can right now. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm right here with you until they get there, okay? Oh my God, I don't even know how this happened. Oh my God. Oh my God. Honey. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ma'am, I'm right here. I want to ask you again, do you want to do CPR? Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, Mark. I'm right here with you until help comes. Oh my God, why is he out here? Can you tell me what happened last night? Yes, we got into an argument, and we got home here, and he was being aggressive, and I took off in the truck, and he tried to stop me, but I didn't know that he got hurt or anything. I didn't know he was off to this. I don't know what happened. I thought he was hurt. It went him up. Oh my God. I just assumed he went in the house and went to bed. Oh, I texted some hotel rooms last night. I went to 2 different hotels. That didn't work, so I came back here. I slept on the couch thinking he was in the room. And then I went upstairs because I didn't want him to get mad that I came home. So I went upstairs so that he didn't know that I was home. And this morning when I went to the bedroom, he wasn't there. So I came out to go to the garage to see the car was here. And that's when I caught a glimpse of him over here. Okay. Oh my God, he has 2 kids. Okay. I know. Ma'am, I can give you CPR instructions if you want to do CPR on him. There's no, I'm sorry. I wish that was an option. Okay. Oh my God, Mark.
Saturday, February 23, 2019. 06:39 and 12 seconds.
Oh, I hear ambulance is coming. Okay. You let me know when they're right there with him, okay? Please leave everything as you found it, okay? Ma'am, are you in the front of the house or the back of the house? Right on the side. Right on the side of the house, okay. Down the driveway, partially down the driveway. Oh, honey. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why is he not? Honey, please, wait. They're coming as fast as they can, ma'am. Oh my God! Can you hear the siren? Can you hear the siren? Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, I want you to stay on the phone with me until they're right there with you. Oh God. Okay, you can hang up the phone and talk to them, okay? Okay, okay, bye.
And your position now is,
I'm an investigator currently.
okay. Would you like me to
Hi, Nisi. Good to see you, Nisi.
call you Investigator Valencia, or would you like me to call you Deputy Valencia?
Sergeant Valencia, Investigator Valencia is fine.
Okay. Your position at the time, just to recap, was?
I was a patrol sergeant on patrol at that time.
So Sergeant Valencia, now that you've heard the subject matter of that call, do you believe that that was the call that you had testified about responding to?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's in mark.
This is an overview of the Mark and Lori Phillips property.
And is that the location you went to that day?
Yes, it is.
So what I'm going to do next is, before we get further, I would like to ask you some questions about just kind of general setup of the property. Attorney Skemp is queuing that up.
Where have you been, Nisi? Nisi, you always pop in for one chat and then you disappear.
While she is doing so, do you recall what time you
Stay
arrived?
if you want.
Do you recall what time you got the scene or got the call?
We appreciate everyone in the chats, guys. So please come and chat. Please on Rumble and YouTube, please like the video, and subscribe on YouTube and follow on Rumble. Thank you. Let's go.
Call was around 6:29, 6:30 in the morning.
Okay. Do you recall when you got on scene?
That would have been about 6:40, I believe, in that area.
At that time, we heard the 911 call. What information did you have available to yourself?
That there was a person who was down in the snowbank, possibly deceased, that there had been an argument the prior evening, and it was information to that nature.
What are your duties and responsibilities at this time?
My duties and responsibilities, I was dispatched along with another deputy, Deputy Stotinger. My job is to get to the scene, assist in any way I can, assess the scene. If there's someone who's deceased, my job is to get initial information, and if it appears as though there may be anything suspicious or something that didn't seem right, to contact investigators, make sure the person, if they are still alive, provide any medical care that I can until first responders arrive.
Does the information you have available affect how you proceed?
It does.
How so?
So initially, on initial response, I do an initial scene assessment to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, anything that would look suspicious. And again, just to try to secure the scene as best I can.
Were you the first person on scene here?
Yes, I was.
And is part of your responsibilities, I hear that you communicate with first responders and other similar?
Yes, I would typically communicate with dispatch with any request and inform them of any needs or what I had. If there was something important, I would relay that to them, which they would relay to first responders.
So I have pulled up on the large screen, or Attorney Skemp has pulled up on the large screen, Exhibit 2, which you've identified as the Phillips property.
Yes.
I would ask if you could, or I could, if you could kind of walk us through. I want to start with, I guess, that driveway on the left. What can you just kind of tell me there and how the property is set up? And where does that driveway on the left-hand side, where does that connect to the main road, or does it connect to the main road?
Yes, the driveway that's on the left-hand side connects with County Road W. It is on the western side of the property. The house is on the right side of that driveway. It's the larger of all of the structures there. At the very end of that, or toward the top of that photograph, there's a concrete pad. And then
Before
there's
you go on, just to kind of set and make the record, so because that driveway that we're talking about connects to County W, if I said the W driveway, would you know what that meant?
Both entrances to this property, the one that you see on the left and the other loops around underneath the trees that you can see on the right side. It's somewhat angled. That would also connect with County Road W, but that's at the intersection or closest to the intersection of County Road M and W.
Okay. So if I called the one driveway the W driveway and the other driveway the M driveway, starting with the W driveway, could you point that out to us on the map?
That would be on the left side of the driveway, on the left side of the residence.
And the M driveway then, that is the one that is the right side of that horseshoe.
Correct.
Okay. And that goes towards the intersection, did I get that right? Goes towards the intersection of W and M.
That's correct.
Okay. So going up from the W driveway, can you tell us what that structure is?
Straight up, the W driveway would be this more square structure with a smaller structure next to it. That would be what was called the garage.
And is that, I guess, and then to the right of that, or going towards the M driveway at the other side of the horseshoe, is that the house?
Yes.
What is that structure above the house?
That structure was referenced as a man cave.
Is it a standalone structure?
Yes, it is.
So between the house and what you just called the man cave, were you able to walk that stretch of driveway?
Yes.
Do you have an idea of how much distance exists between the man cave and the main house?
I would estimate that as approximately 20 feet.
So Sergeant Valencia, we're going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 3. Are you able to tell us what this is?
This would be the in-car video from my squad.
those numbers on the left-hand side of the screen, do those mean anything to you?
The numbers on the left-hand side show my GPS location. It'll show things like my speed, other.
Hi, John. You've not missed anything. Hi, Johnny. You've not missed anything. You missed open statement of defense, but we never heard the state, so I wouldn't watch that if I were you. Then we've heard one phone call, the call that she made, that Laurie made, and this. You've missed about 20 minutes max. 20 minutes. If you don't watch the defense opening, I don't think you need to watch the defense opening because we don't get to see the state, so it's not really fair. You're about 15, 20 minutes behind us. So get on it, girl. Get on it. You'll be with us now.
That's really what you can gather from that would be my GPS location and the speed that I'm traveling at that time.
Okay. Can I ask where you are right now?
Right now, I'm near I'm on Highway 35, approaching the county line that leads into Trempealeau County.
Okay. I just wanted to stop the video momentarily, which is at the video time shows 6:31:08. Does it look like it's snowing in the background? Is that accurate, or is that just?
That is accurate.
Okay. Can you tell us how hard it is snowing?
It's not snowing. It's not real hard, but it is snowing and it's noticeable.
Oh, go ahead. We're starting the video from that point.
I wish they'd show the actual screen. Why are we watching him and not the screen? Yeah, you're right, Jonathan. You're right. You're right, Jonathan.
Basically gonna be County Road W and Pocketon Road. Got a 4-year-old male. Our caller found him laying outside milking. He is cold to the touch, not breathing. He may have been outside 11 p.m. Your narrative has been updated.
I am pausing the video at 6:36:14. Sergeant Valencia, I guess the sound we're hearing, it sounds like voices. Is that what you would testify to in terms of what you knew?
Yes, that's dispatch coming across the radio with additional information and updating me as I drove.
Okay. Did you receive any additional information other than what we're hearing now?
No, I hadn't had any other information other than what my dispatch center was providing me.
Did it stop snowing at this time?
No, it's still snowing lightly.
Okay, so it is still snowing lightly here? Okay.
Yes, it is.
I am resuming the video at 6:36:14.
Your narrative has been updated. Your narrative has been updated. Your narrative has been updated. One for the area where she was given that. W5414 County Road W. She hasn't given an exact location there. Is that right at the intersection of that and W? She's advising she's on one of the sides of the house. Way down the driveway.
That was us attempting to stop the video at a moment. Sorry. We have stopped the video at 6:40:06. Sergeant Valencia, can you tell us what we're looking at?
So I'm approaching the Phillips property from the west. The house is the structure that you see up in front, and in the snowbank between the house and me, you can see black. There's 2 black dots there. That's what I can see. That would be Lori Phillips and Mark Phillips.
But did you know that at this time?
With the description that dispatch had given me, I wasn't. I could see that there was movement there. I also deactivated my siren. I slowed way down just to observe the scene and get a view of what it looked like from a distance. And I could clearly pick out the 2 shapes of Mark and Lori in the snow. They were dark spots. One was moving, one was not.
So you had indicated that that's the house that you had talked about earlier on the left,
Correct.
and we're on the side that where the W driveway is closest to where your SWAT car is.
That is correct.
And did you, I guess, can you point out for the where the black spot you're referring to is?
Do you want me to go to the screen and do that?
I have a pointer, but I'm going to need a tutorial on how to use it. So if you could just point for the sake of doing it right now.
If I could reach up that high. The 2 dots I'm speaking of are right here. Here's the house. Right here are the 2 dots that I'm speaking of.
And that is Mark and Lori Phillips.
Mark and Lori, correct.
About how far are you, or are you able to estimate how far you are from the house?
Right now, I'm approximately 200 yards, maybe 175 yards away from them in the house.
We are restarting the video at that. Thank you.
Dispatch update.
Don't have to go all the way back, just the last 20 minutes.
Dispatch update.
Your Honor, we're having a problem with our exhibit as we try to stop the video. We were attempting to stop the video. If we should take just a moment.
Yeah, we'll take it off the screen once you get there. Let us know.
Thank you.
Take it off the screen once you get there. Let us know.
And I think,
thank you.
so we have stopped the video at 6:40 and 30 seconds and are putting it back on the big screen. Sergeant Valencia, can you tell us what we're looking at?
So I pulled into the driveway. It would be the W driveway on the west side of the house. You can see Lori in the background, and Mark would be just off in front of her and to the right side of that, along that snowbank. Additionally, when I pulled in right in the center of the video, in the middle of the driveway, there's a shiny object that caught my eye.
Can you point that shiny object out to us?
Yes. Would be this object right here.
And you indicated that that caught your eye.
Yes.
Why did it catch your eye?
It looked out of place considering I'm driving into an area. It does not look plowed, and there's a shiny object. It drew my eyes went right to it when my lights struck that object, and it appeared out of place.
Was there a glare that you saw?
A glare?
I guess a glare from the object.
Yes. That's that reflection that you can see off of that object.
And are we looking at the W driveway?
Yes, we are.
And is going back to the aerial view that you would discuss, that structure directly behind it, is that the garage?
Yes, it is.
And then can you describe to us how, and we'll talk more about how the driveway, I guess, what direction does the driveway go? Does it, as it connects to the other M driveway?
So this driveway, right now I'm heading north in a northerly direction. The driveway loops around to the right and goes in between the house and the man cave, and then it comes back to near the intersection of County Road W and County Road M.
We are starting the video again at 6:40:30.
What's your name? Lori. Hey, Lori. All right.
Oh my God, he's 48.
Okay, Kevin,
argument last
Yes,
night?
we did.
Was he drinking too?
Yes, I didn't know he was. Oh, he was up like this.
All right. Stop there. Stop there.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, I got evidence and stuff out here, so. Go ahead, Jen. Why don't you sit back here with me real quick, okay? Just be careful. Be careful. Back here. Back here. Just step by the front of my car real quick, okay? Just step by the front of my car. I'll be with you in just a second. I didn't see anything out there other than hers. Okay, what's your name?
Lori.
Lori. What's your last name?
Phillips.
Okay, step right over here. Okay, so tell me what happened. You saw him about 11 o'clock or so last night?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Take a deep breath, okay?
I totally paid.
Oh my God, I did not know he was out here. So we had an argument last night. He was coming around the truck to come and get me. So I took off. His door was so wide open, but I didn't know that he was like I don't know what happened. I didn't know he was there. Oh my God.
Okay. Stay here. Stay with me. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Are these your footprints here? Just yours?
I thought he was. I went to see
Okay.
if he was because I got up and I went to the bedroom and I went to see where he was. I went to see if his car's gone.
Okay.
And,
Okay. His car's normally in the garage.
I don't know. I always think we're talking about my car's in the garage, but when he was in the bedroom, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I don't even know what to do.
Why don't you go to 135? So you guys just got married, you said?
Yes,
Okay. When is that?
December 29th,
Okay. Okay. How long have you two been together?
3 years.
You just moved in here then, or
No.
you've been living here for a while? Does he have any medical conditions?
He's diabetes. Oh my God, I don't know. Oh no.
It's Lori at LOR, right? Okay.
My God, I came home last night and I never even saw him.
So I'm out at a residence by W. William, it's by William and Mary, right at the intersection there. Got a 48-year-old male I found in a snowbank here. Last thing about midnight last night, got in an argument with his wife. She didn't know he was out here. She either thought he was in his little man cave or got in his car and left. But he's in a snowbank 100. I didn't see any footprints other than hers around him. There's some glasses that are laying in the middle of the driveway here, kind of between him and the road. But other than that, there were no tracks around them when I got here. So, about 11 o'clock last night, they got into some kind of an argument. She thought he left. What's that? It's like, no, it's a little small shed behind the house and next to the garage. It's kind of a cluster of buildings all in one area. No, he's diabetic too. I'm guessing he had been drinking as well. Yeah. I don't know. We've notified him, but or they're notifying him now. I don't know who it'll be. Well, there's footprints all over. I took as many as I could right away, but first responders were right behind me too. So the only tracks I see were her tracks, where it looked like she came out of it. It looks like she came out of the house, went to the garage, directly to the garage, came down here, went back to the house maybe to get her phone, and then came back to him. So those are the only tracks I see. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't see any. The only thing I see is he got kind of a bloody nose and he kind of tipped upside down, but he could be easily fell that way. So, I haven't gotten that far with her yet. Okay. Not yet. They got the roads pretty well taken care of so far. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think it would hurt to have somebody come out. We'll just cover it up for now and have somebody come out. Yeah, it's right at M&W. Last name is Phillips. I've only got his wife so far. Mark Phillips, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Said they just got married in December. And I did try transferring 135 over to you and 139. Didn't go through on your end. Okay. I just talked to 104 with the. Is that the EOD 21? Yep. I have perfect service here. It's probably just right over there. I couldn't. Valencia. Okay. Hello. Hi, Lisa. Valencia calling. How are you? So I have a 48-year-old male who was found in his alongside his driveway. He got into an argument with his wife last night, and she thought he was in the man cave or got in his car to leave. They both had some alcohol drinks last night. She woke up this morning, didn't see him. She went out to the garage. His car's still there, and she saw him laying in the snow. We can't even get a temperature on it, so. No, he's not that frozen. He's diabetic as well. She didn't know he was going to this until this morning. The only set of tracks I could see was just one set of footprints that appeared to come from the house down to him and then back to the house and back. There were no other footprints in the driveway or anything else. There's a pair of glasses about halfway down the driveway, but other than that, I didn't see anything. There weren't a lot of tracks around here. Okay. Yeah, no, I think they're fine. Sounds good. Bye. Hello. Okay, sounds good. I just talked to the ME at Lisa. So, no. Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you. We're good, fellas. No names or anything like that? Yeah, I should get all that. I need, What is it? Daniel R. Manigal. IGEL. 316 of 83. Just a phone number for you, 498 545. Okay. DOR. STR. Okay, what's your middle name? With a V? What's your middle name? What? ROTK. Okay. Okay. What's your birthday? 498. Phone number for you? 608-659-2087. Okay. Anthony. Edward. From KROTLIM. Okay. Date of birth. 030376. Phone number. Okay. Okay. Jeremy? Okay. What's that? Richard. Richard? C-O, okay. Birthday? Okay. So of course the odd one out here. Everybody else has March birthday. Everybody? Right? Right? Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Sounds good. Let's figure out. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good day. I got called out at 3 o'clock for some crap they had on the interstate. Some shoot. So, yeah, she was from over by Oxford or something like that. Stole a car, stole a gun. State patrol was chasing her. She buried her. Right? I know it. All right, you guys have a good one.
Sergeant Valencia, the video has ended. On that screen, before the screen went off, that structure, and I guess, we've identified, you've talked about the garage, you've shown us the house. Is that other structure, is that the man cave?
Yes, the structure that would be to the right and farther away would be the man cave.
Okay. Why did you call it the man cave?
It had some type of signage on it, I believe, that said man cave on it.
So that wasn't your term?
No.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I am handing Sergeant Valencia with 4, 5, 6. Before I do that, Sergeant Valencia, those sunglasses we talked about previously, did you have to drive around those?
Yes, I did. When I entered and saw that reflection or glint off of the glasses, I felt at the time that it was something important that I should not drive over, considering the road conditions, the intersection. I felt it best to pull into the driveway. But when I saw that, I drove away from them, to stay away from them, to leave them preserved as much as I could.
So I've handed you exhibits 4, 5, and 6. Can you tell us what is on those pictures?
These are photographs of Mark Phillips in the snow.
We're going to be asking to put this on the screen now, so if there's anyone who is live streaming or just doesn't want to see it. Exhibits 4, 5, 6, And then a few thereafter are pictures of the decedent's body.
So if you don't want to see it, turn away now.
I use the Elmo.
You maybe should use the Elmo. Okay.
While they're setting that up, those pictures you have, you said that that was the body
Yes.
of, okay. What can you tell us about, I guess, the position of the body in relation to the driveway and the structures that you've already identified? Can you give us a description while we're waiting for it to queue up?
Yes, the description would be Mark was alongside the driveway between the driveway and the house. He was closest to the driveway. His head was into and along the snowbank. There was a snowbank at his head side, which kind of also, there was a space that wrapped around behind him where they had piled snow from the winter. There was a tree and a birdhouse located inside that area as well between him and the snowbank. And he was more in a, with his north-south direction with his feet on the northern end and his head pointing toward the south into the snowbank.
Restate that last part and explain. His head is facing which way?
His head is facing in a southerly direction and his feet are in the north or in a northern direction as you would look at this photo. The driveway is in the area of where his hands are located. That would be the driveway, and where his left, or correction, his right hand is where the end of the snowbank is that ran along the driveway.
Okay, so that's his right hand, the elbow, you said that's about the end of the snowbank there?
That's correct. And it's hard to see in this photograph, but that's the edge of the snowbank where it was plowed along the driveway.
And his head facing towards the house, or is his head facing towards, or his head facing towards the road?
It is facing towards the road.
So this, that is exhibit 6. I'm now showing you exhibit 4 again. You describe the position of the snow now that you have a different angle.
Okay, you can see his right arm, the elbow area is right up against the edge of that snowbank. His head and his shoulders are against that snowbank as well, and his hands are toward the driveway.
That was exhibit 4, 5. Point out the edge of the driveway there.
The edge of the driveway would be where his hands are in that area. More his left hand than his right hand. His right hand is closer to the snowbank.
I am going to be handing you what's been marked as exhibit 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, I'm going to use the elbow bar. What's been marked as exhibit 7. Are those the sunglasses you previously told us about?
Yes, they are.
And did you already asked how far away they were from the body?
I haven't been asked. They were approximately 15 feet away from his body in the center of the driveway. They were farther south from him and in the center of the driveway.
Been marked as exhibit 8. Can you identify, can you tell us about those tracks? I guess are there tracks in the snow?
Yes, there are tracks in the snow.
Okay, can you describe them to us?
Describe the tracks. Tire tracks or the footprints?
Oh,
There are footprints in the snow. That would most likely be from the first responders after they arrived. When I initially drove up, I think you could see from the video, there were no tracks, footprints or anything like that when I drove into the driveway. These would be the sunglasses in the middle, and then there's the, looks like the bottom end of the vehicle in the upper part of the photograph.
so am I correct that these footprints and tire tracks were not there before you?
That is correct.
point, I guess now that, you know, the point where the end of the SWAT video, who was on scene?
I'm not sure when this photograph was taken.
Okay. During the SWAT video we watched, can you identify some of the people you were talking to?
They were the first responders and tri-state personnel.
Okay. It looked like there was an officer with a beard. Were you able to, or would you be able to identify them?
That would be Deputy Stotinger. There was also a tri-state personnel there, I believe, also who had a beard, but the one in the law enforcement uniform was Deputy Stotinger.
Who's Lisa?
Lisa would be the medical examiner who contacted me at my request.
I'm putting exhibit 9 on the LML. I'm trying to. What can you tell us about this picture?
This photograph is, I believe, myself and Deputy Stotinger. I had backed my squad up to, I'm not quite sure the reason why, but in the foreground, and it's difficult to see, would be Mark Phillips' body covered by a white sheet. And this, facing this direction, also you can see the birdhouse that I mentioned earlier, along with the tree, and in the background is County Road W running east and west.
Describe kind of the, I guess, the way the snowbank is, it edges into the driveway.
The snowbank here is pushed back away from the driveway. Exactly where the edge of it is, I cannot tell, but it appears as though they plowed somewhat into the grassy area.
Then mark exhibit 10. That give you, I guess, is that the same thing or same kind of area we're talking about?
Yes, very similar.
Does that give you a better angle of where the snowbank is?
Yes, it does.
And that is Mr. Phillips' white sheet.
Correct. It looks as though his feet may be sticking out from underneath it.
Does his feet and body extend into the driveway?
I cannot tell from this angle.
So mark exhibit 11. Can you see the edge of the driveway in this photo?
I cannot see the edge of the driveway. I can see the edge of where they plowed the snow.
Okay. So can you describe that in where the edge of the plow mark?
It may be easier if I step up to the screen to do that.
This line right here is the edge of the snowbank, which you can see running vertically straight up to the top of the screen. Here's his hand which extends towards the driveway. Into that area that he's been plowed. The picture we had previously seen of the body, that's, at this point, nothing has been done to disturb the body. Is that accurate or not?
That is correct.
Putting what's been marked in exhibit number 12 on the elbow. What are we looking at in relation to the driveway, snowbank, property?
In this photograph, in the foreground, you can see Mark's body covered up with a white sheet. Behind it and at his head is also the plowed area of the snowbank and where he came to rest against the snowbank. In the background are the tree and the birdhouse that I referenced, and in the background of that is the residence. In the upper right of the photograph, you can see the intersection of County Road M and County Road W.
And is there something up on the house there?
Yes, there's a camera, which is a small dot right on the corner of the house.
Did you personally do anything with the camera footage, though?
I did not.
Are you able to say whether that camera can see him?
I don't believe that it can, based on the position of the camera and the snowbank and the height of it.
So are we looking down? Did I hear that you don't think that you can see it? The
I-
body from that camera?
I don't believe that you can see the body from that camera. I think the snowbank obscures his body.
So if there's another group, this would be a good time to break.
Okay, and Judge, I was just going to suggest the way we've organized these, we're now moving from position to what else is on the scene and then transitioning to other witnesses. So if the court would prefer, that would be,
Why don't we
I would
take-
agree this is a good time to break.
Let's take a break. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end for today. If you come at 8:30 tomorrow morning, 8:30 tomorrow morning. One thing is, again, please don't talk about the case. I usually make a joke that your family and friends will probably turn to you and say, hey, so tell me what's going on in the trial. And the really easy answer is, there's this mean, nasty judge who told me I can't say a word. So just blame it on me. I'm totally willing to take the heat. Otherwise, we'd like to see here at 8:30. We'll start up at 8:45, seeing everything is going well. If there are any issues, you have any questions, talk to Terry or Kevin, or call if something comes up. Give us a call and we'll try to get back to you. But otherwise, have a good evening. We'll see you then.
Okay. Stay on. There's a little bit left here. Sorry, I've gone off screen to sleep a little bit. I'm napping. Been up to the gym this morning. I'm knackered.
Your Honor, the exhibit photos that have been shown, I've organized them and I present them to.
Do you want them to be received?
I was going to move for everything at the end, but just for the sake of me not forgetting after day one, I would do the exhibit process.
1 through 12, no objection.
Okay.
And
1
then
through
one call on the slide.
1 through 12. Yeah, 1 through 12. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with the 911 call and squad video labeled separately from the call.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
With the video and the call labeled separately. How are those labeled?
1 and 3, and we gave USB.
Okay, yeah, no objection.
Okay, so exhibits 1 through 12 are received. Just technicality, they should be received before publication, but they're received. If there's no objection to that process, I have no problem.
No, these are part of the batch that I agree are admissible, Judge.
Okay, all right. Be here at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Is there any issues we need to talk about right now before we leave? But from the state's perspective?
Judge, may we?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll just wait to see what this is about. Hans, do you fancy coming to Wales, Hans? Grow a garden for me. Wow. How many does that feed then, Hans? Lasts you all year. Bloody hell. You're saving fortune. That would last me a month, I think. Oh, even that, I don't think.
Okay. All right. A little sidebar about a little bit of a glitch. I will put that on the record. Decision was it's not a big deal. But anything further from the statement?
No, Judge.
Anything further from defense?
No, Judge.
Okay. See you all tomorrow morning, 8:30, and we'll go from there. Thank you, everyone.
Hang on then. Also compost. I only use the chicken poo in my fertilizer, and in the winter, I have 3 different composts. Jesus, you are. Do you sell them? Or just eat them for yourself? That's a good job going for you, though. I don't grow anything. My belly. That's about it. Grow my belly. All right. What do we think, guys? What do we think? The reason I like this one is because, so as you know, some of you know, I'm going to be doing Karen Reed. Now, I think every stream in the world will be covering Karen Reed, not just me. So, all you're going to hear when it comes to it is Karen Reed, Karen Reed. I have no idea if she's what involved. I know she hit or allegedly hit a boyfriend. So I just thought this would be a good trial for us to look at before. It gives us a little bit of a, in my opinion, excuse me, how rude of me. Gives me, I believe, and us, a good foundation for the Karen Reed trial. So that's why I want to cover it. So the plan is, day one is done in the, yeah, like Hayden says, in the can. It's in the can, done, completed. We're now you will transport in a second or two straight over to my next stream, the C stream. So that's what's happening there. then we will watch that until its conclusion. Then after that, we then go whoosh to our third stream. After that, we go back to day 2 of this trial, the Ann Phillips trial. We'll cover the morning aspect of the trial, so the AM up until lunchtime, and then back here tomorrow. Oh, Jesus, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock UK, 9 o'clock European, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock European. We'll play the afternoon session, and then we'll go to the Jesse trial, and we'll do that. So we'll 3 streams a day, and obviously Saturdays will be Matt as well. So people want to, if you want to call me a hero, it's fine. Call me a hero. If you need a hero, I need a hero. That's me. I am your hero. So 2 trials a day and Saturday. Well, 3 episodes a day plus Saturday. Jesus. 15. 16. Excuse me, 16 episodes a week we're going to be doing now until these trials finish. That's all good. I always do 'cause I love you. I love all of you. So right. You should in a second. I like this plan a lot, and yes, you're a hero. Thank you. Plan. Everyone likes a plan, Batman. Thank you, Jan. Holy ambition, Batman. Well, hey, it's fine as long as you guys here with me because Hens, I was asking Hens questions. She's disappeared. She's buggered off. Hens. Joking, it's fine. But I need chat to be in on this. If chat's gone quiet, then it's useless because chat keeps us going. I can't always rely on Jonathan all the time to entertain us, so I need all of you to entertain as much as possible to keep us going. Happy full days. They're full days. And some days I've got to get up really early the next day as well. So we'll see how it goes. So if you haven't done so, please, 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 please like this video, like the Rumble one. Tudley Pip is here. Tudley Pip is stranger. Never see you anymore. Tudley Pip. Tudley Pip. I love it when a plan comes together. Happy days. You know the score. You're in on it. You're in on it, Tudley Pip. Love it. So I'll close this down and we will bounce. But just in case we don't, I will get the link for the next one because there's nothing worse than if you do not get to go over this straight away. You shouldn't need to use this at all. But if we do, then the link is here. Right, heroes. Right, you weirdos. Follow your heroes. And see you on the next stream. So with that, free Zachary Anderson. Oh, way to go, Dylan. Set a present for trial viewing. We'll start to expect nothing less from now on. Oh, Jesus. Maybe not. You might not say that. Oops, wrong one. Heroes. No, I'm the hero. You're the weirdos. Yeah, so weirdos. I want to be a supervillain. You can never be a villain, Jonathan. You're one of the heroes. Right, free Zachary Anderson as always, and all the links for Zachary is in the description box. See you guys in the next stream. Here we go.